a full-on wolf.
It's the last week of March here at the cabin. Things are warming up little by little, but winter still has a stronghold. Heavy snow covers the island, and the lake is still frozen solid. This time of year marks the start of the shoulder season, that stretch through April when everything begins to change. We can still travel by snowmobile on the ice for now, but it's definitely shifting. There's one area we always watch closely called the Narrows. That's where water from the big lake flows underneath, and wherever there's moving water, the ice starts to melt first. Once it's no longer safe to cross there by snowmobile, we're cut off from the mainland. So during this time, we keep busy, very busy. It helps keep the cabin fever away, and truthfully, we find jobs like this relaxing. Around here, there's never any shortage of work to do. We also avoid risky jobs as much as possible. This time of year, getting in and out is only possible by fan boat or helicopter, and we really don't need any drama for excitement. With more snow still in the forecast, we decided to make the most of the sunshine, set our chairs out on the ice, and soak it all in.
Got the huge hot fire and it's just burning everything right down. So we got it all cleaned up and a few other little branches and things that had fallen from the ice storm. Feels good. I had a chuck roast sitting on the stove top in the Dutch oven. Oh, it smells so good in the cabin and we are starving. So maybe we'll make some sliders with some broccoli salad. Be yummy. I'm happy we got this all done before the wind picked up. It's been very calm today, which is nice. But yeah, so I think we're gonna call it a day. Go relax and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Morning, guys. So the melt is upon us. The warm weather's here. It's about, or getting up to about 9 degrees Celsius today. I'm just going to drill a hole in the ice just to get a measurement. It's still safe to drive a snowmobile on the ice, but over the next week or coming weeks, we'll have to really monitor it closely. The fan boat's buried right now in snow, but it is melting off. So as soon as we get access to that, we're going to fire it up and get it ready, because the narrows in one section are already open. We have a workaround, but we're starting to see darkening of the snow there, which means it's getting thinner. So let's drill a hole and see how thick the ice is. So from the surface here, it's really thick. But there was a section of kind of slushy ice, and then I hit water, and then I hit the hard ice. So as you can see, the ice is exactly 2 feet thick from the surface to the hard bottom of the ice, which is very stable, very thick still, and will take some time to melt off for sure. But it's important to note that the first foot of ice is really not solid. You know, you've got the blue stuff, the solid stuff, and then on top of that, there's a layer of water, and then ice, and then slush, and then snow, or ice again, and then snow. So that upper portion is going to melt a lot quicker than the lower portion, but it's something we'll monitor over the coming days and weeks. And out here is always the last to melt because there's not much flow or movement. But in the narrows, the water from the big lake kind of goes all through that one section. So it's moving like almost like a slow river. And that's why that melts so much quicker. So we actually get completely blocked off from being able to go to the mainland, because we could probably snowmobile to that part and then it's water from there on. So that's where the fan boat will come in handy. Now, if you recall, we damaged it last spring, by getting in bogged down in really sharp chunks of ice. And unfortunately, one chunk went through the hull, but Pete did a fiberglass repair, and I think it's good. It should be good. In fact, that feels like the strongest part of the boat. And we were also having some engine overheating issues, which has to do, I think, with tuning of the carburetor and all that. So as we get access to the boat, right now it's buried in snow, but as things melt, we'll shovel the rest. We'll get in there, and I bought enough oil to do a complete oil change, and then we'll try to tune the carburetor in such a way that it won't overheat the way it was last spring. So in any case, we'll be able to use that just to get in and out during the shoulder season here. So stay tuned. A lot of change is going to be happening on the lake over the next little while. We set a few lines in the water for a bit of ice fishing. If we catch a fish, that's just a bonus. For us, it's really the perfect excuse to sit in the sunshine, enjoy the silence, and relax for a while.
That was scary. I'm glad it wasn't all like only the end was rock hard. That's dangerous. Let's go make dinner.
Happy birthday, Pete. It's hard to put into words what these past 24 years with you have meant to us. Watching you grow from a little boy into the man you are today has been one of the greatest joys of our lives. You've become someone who is thoughtful, respectful, strong, and deeply grounded, and we couldn't be more proud of you. You've always had an adventurous spirit. Even from a young age, you were drawn to big views, bold decisions, and living on the edge in ways that were usually a little more fun for you than for Mom and Dad.
Pete.
You've learned how to be comfortable being uncomfortable, to live with gratitude, and to find contentment wherever life takes you. Whether it's a rooftop tent on the side of a mountain or a 5-star hotel, you carry the same steady spirit with you. That says so much about your character. Life hasn't always been easy, and your journey hasn't been without challenges. But through it all, you've kept going. You've faced hard things with courage, and you've continued to move forward with faith, determination, and humility. We admire the way you keep learning, keep growing, and keep sharpening the gifts God has given you. You don't settle, and it shows in everything you do. Most of all, we're grateful for your heart, for the man you are, for the way you live, and for the way you continue to put God first. Pete, we love you more than words can say. We are so thankful for your life, so proud of the road you've already walked, and so excited to see all that God has ahead for you. May He continue to guide your steps, protect you in every adventure, and bless your life in ways greater than you can imagine. Happy birthday, Pete. We all love you so very much.
That's a full-on wolf.
Carol and I were just down there getting water, and she looked up on the main lake and saw a wolf just booking it across the lake. And I think we captured it for you on camera, at least from a distance. But man, he was moving. It's pretty neat. We've been seeing a lot of wildlife. I guess one thing about when you have a dog, when we had Lando, we never saw anything. And I think wolves, foxes, all the animals can sense that there's a dog, and they'll keep their distance. But without Lando being here, we're seeing a lot more wildlife. Dan has been staying busy with all kinds of projects around the island, and today he's working to rescue a pile of firewood from the dock before the spring thaw carries it away.
Surprised it's not more slushy than it is. I don't want to park too close just because there's a old structure where a little boathouse basically for the float plane that the previous owners had was right below this dock. And I'm assuming the ice is a little bit thinner as you get over spots like that. Just to be safe, I'm gonna park a little bit out while I carry these loads. It'll make it longer to load the firewood, but that's no problem. It's such a beautiful day outside right now. Who cares?
Our snowmobile is our main mode of transportation throughout the winter, getting us on and off the island. So today, we're giving it a bit of attention, checking the oil and coolant, and putting in a new starter battery. Regular maintenance may not be the most exciting part of life out here, but it's one of the most important. When you depend on a machine like this every day, taking care of the small things can help prevent bigger problems down the road. Well, we got power to the starter motor, but it doesn't sound too healthy, so we're gonna have to take a look at that. Might have to free it up or something. But at least we got power. It's been a good snowmobile so far. We bought it 2 years ago, and it's done the job for us. And it was only about $5,000, so that's a good deal. All right, didn't need a lot, but it's topped up now. The oil looks good actually on the other side. I think it's full. So that starter motor sounds a lot better now. It must. We've never used it. We've always just pull started, so it must have been rusted a little bit, but it's sounding better now. Maintenance doesn't stop with the machines. The cabin needs its share of care too. In a climate this harsh, scraping, sanding, painting, and repainting, inside and out, becomes part of the rhythm of life here. Today, Carol is working on the upper windows, removing old flaking paint, sanding everything smooth, and repainting the sills and the trim. It's the kind of job that not only freshens things up and makes the cabin look cared for, but also adds an important layer of protection for years to come.
So I'm just going to be using this little razor for the window to get any paint that got on to the glass. I really like it. Also, you can open up the back and it has some spare razors in there. Makes it where you don't have to panic if you get anything on the glass. It was all warm yesterday, and today it's really cold with the wind that bites. Another job we probably should do this year is on the other side put some more window putty along the frames. I've noticed over the years chips are worn out Hey, Pete, the water's overflowing. Do you want a tea or coffee?
Yeah. Sounds good.
I'll have a tea. So I think I like that. Everything kind of up over there, and I had really wanted to hang up my cast iron just to keep the airflow and help them from getting rust on them. But I wanted to make this area clear so that we could install a hood range fan. I did find one, but it's the wrong color. I had to return one that was the right color. It's in a weird size. It's like 24, quite small. And this will just sit like, you know, here or something like that. But I want to paint it black. And then I want to get another piece of this wood shelving and stick it on top of it, just in case we do end up putting something on it. But I just think it'll tie in to the logs and to the whole look a little bit better. So if you remember, this is the shelf that was sitting above the stove before I moved it off the wall there. And I really liked it, and that was just a big empty space. I had to like get my brain wrapped around grabbing our coffee cups here in the morning and the different tea and coffee over here. I kept on reaching for it over there. It was weird after 22 years of having it above the stove. So yeah, I liked it. We have our little Montana plate. Remember Caroline in the morning, but it's all coming together.
So last night it rained really hard rather than snowed, which is really good. The temperature's up higher than originally forecast, which is nice, at least for melting snow and melting the lake ice. So you can see a lot of the snow has been compacted down and has water on top of it now in the lake. So that's a big change from earlier on this week. So we're excited about that. There's still a long ways to go to melt the snow off, but bit by bit, as the weather warms up, we'll keep measuring the thickness of the ice and keep looking forward to that day when we can get the boats back in the water. Thanks for being with us here at the cabin as we wait for spring to set in and for the big thaw on the lake. We want to wish you a very happy Easter Sunday, a day when Christians around the world celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. And in the meantime, we'll see you down the road.